Hi, welcome to the final thoughts of my impressions from the Gilded Realms. The Gilded Realms is a game coming to crowdfunding soon, and I had the pleasure of playing it several times with my friends to get record also a playthrough which we have uploaded, and it's available in our channel in English, so you can find out about how the game plays in practice from the live playthrough. And now it's I think a time for me to wrap up with my final thoughts on the game. So I have added as usual a couple of positive things and a couple of negative things that I found about the game. The balance is obviously towards the positive things. I really enjoyed this game. For those of you who don't know it, the Gilded Realms is a Euro-style kingdom builder game in a fantasy world where players assume the roles of commanders, of rulers of four young but ambitious new kingdoms that they're trying to flourish and develop in this city building game. But there is this threat, this common threat. There is invasion from Surukar, which is constantly around the corner, and players need to prepare their defenses, build up and be ready to defend them. The game shines on a lot of different things like city building, kingdom building, tech trees. I would say also in addition to that the building queue, which is very unique and feels like an actual PC game, like I would say Age of Empires. But let's start from the beginning. First of all, let me guide you through some of the positive things I have in my notepad about the Gilded Realms. First of all, I like the asymmetric factions. I typically, in this type of games, I should say it's more easily observed on PC games to find asymmetry on the factions, on civilization games, let's say. In this game, they have managed to build in a very highly asymmetric aspect where it comes from the different abilities and the different rulers that the core advisor or the council advisors, the commander that they have, and the special cards. But it doesn't only stay on that, it focuses also on the additional deck of cards. For example, one guild has the trading deck, which is an extra ability. Another one has the ability to foresee the future and carry some rounds with events, etc. So there is high asymmetric aspect in the factions, which is fantastic in my opinion, and I really enjoy that because you want to immediately play another game, another session, trying different things, but also trying different factions. Another thing that I have noted down my notebook is that this game feels like, I would say, a kingdom builder done right. Meaning that, first of all, visually, I highly enjoy the fact that you have five, let's say, provinces: the military province, the influence province, the resource province, etc. That they start, again, typically I don't do that, but for me it really brings up a lot of the old good video games. It brings up the Age of Empires 3 feeling, where you start in your city blank, and then while you build your buildings, they pop in the background and they populate it and make it more crowded with more abilities and more buildings and more troops and more things to come. This game has 3 cards, double-sided, so it's 5 levels starting from level 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each of the different aspects, so the military, the resources, the influence, etc. And when you upgrade your kingdom, you flip the card to the next level if you have the requirements to do so. In order to upgrade it, you need to build up in order to upgrade it and have some requirements, and then it gives you more income, more defense powers, more abilities, of course, more victory points at the end. It's done really elegantly, I would say. The building queue is fantastic. Again, third time, and I promise I stop. It reminds me video games, where you put something in the building queue, you forget about it, and when it's ready, it notifies you that this unit, this building has been built. The way that this game works is you draw 3, you build 2, you can build more if you commit citizens, but be more vulnerable, and then you put it on the building queue of the card. That's either 4, 3, 2, or 1. And each round you just move all the cards one step. You can force cards to move further if you spend resources for buildings or supplies for units. And this is also unique because you can really make a difference when the time is right. But it gives this, let's say, delay that you see it building up, the time for the unit to be prepared, let's say trained, the time for the building to be built, which is really natural and gives a very realistic feeling, I should say. Very well done here. Exceptional rulebook. Still a prototype, a very advanced prototype, but everything was answered in the rulebook. The guys, it's the first game, haven't played any other game from them, I don't know, but it's a rulebook done right. They answer all the questions, they have fantastic examples, there is a lot of things to digest, but everything feels natural and makes sense philosophy in terms of rules, but the rulebook itself has an answer for everything. You just need to look for it and find it out very easily. And it's very nicely structured with examples, with explanations for everything, and this is really, really well done. Another thing that I would note here is the satisfying gameplay and development. You feel like your kingdom is becoming bigger, stronger, with more options, with more units, with more army, with more buildings and more capabilities. And then this emulates, in an essence, the effort or the years that they've gone through your ruling, if you want, as a ruler, in order to make it stronger and more, I would say, powerful in the course of the events and in the course of the interactions with other players. The common threat, which is dealt from individual players, which is a surprise because the game lasts 12 rounds and each round you reveal an event, and it could be like a prosperous year, it could be an invasion, and it could be light, medium or hard invasion, it could be some decree, etc. But in any case, there are 9 cards, 6 out of the 9 are going to be played in each era. The first 6 rounds are era 1, the rounds 7 to 12 are round 2, age 2, sorry. And you might see up to 3 invasions in each era, in each half of the game, let's say. Which is really nice because you have to prepare, you have to build up your units, because the more you progress, because you become better, the game balances out the threat and the power of the invasion, because you are more attractive, let's say, to the invaders in order to loot you, to conquer you or whatever. Makes sense, right? The prosperous kingdom is more attractive to the invasion. So when you build up, when you go, for example, round 7, you're going to add the threat of 7, plus the invasion if he forces you to roll some die to add threat to that, plus if you have sent workers to do extra things, you will increase your threat. Plus, if you have looming threats previously revealed that you haven't dealt with, like a war post or a war commander roaming in the kingdom through event cards, this adds up. And different players would be differently prepared, also situationally based on how they have, if they have sent their troops for a campaign to be able to defend. Now, it's not the end of the world. If you lose, it doesn't destroy units from you. It just, maybe you have to destroy units if you don't have anything else to pay for reparations, but it brings you a bit backwards. So it doesn't destroy you, but it gives you a big push, like people stole from you, people invaded, took your profits, etc. So very, very well done, exceptionally done, I should say. High replayability. Every game feels different even within the same faction, because you do different selection of councillors, you do different strategies, different options, the events will be different, which dictate a lot the direction of the round. It's not let's say, pre-programmed, but it really gives a big direction to the round, at least to the events of the round, how they're going to unfold. You see that later on after your preparation. But then the replayability of the game is really high. Lots of different events, a lot of asymmetry, a lot of cards to try, and a lot of things to build or go for different things. You can go full military, you can go full influence. You cannot do everything full, as you can imagine. So this gives a lot of value and replayability into the game. Another thing that I have noted down is the clever tech tree and a lot of synergies. There is a clever tech tree in the form of knowledge tiles that you buy. There is a step in the round sequence, and it's fantastic because it's explained on the side of your player board, the whole sequence, where you can buy knowledge tiles if you spend gold, which you need to produce, of course, and they give you a lot of breaking rules abilities or boosting abilities that can help you, like re-rolling defense die, or attack when you're attacking, when you're defending, or being able to use your citizens as militia if you're invaded. Lots of different things that they can make a difference in the different 5 provinces: military, province, resources, etc., influence, and so on. So very nicely done. Tech trees work fantastic. A lot of player interaction, I would say, because not only you have to anticipate the attack of the common threat, the common enemy, you have to prepare also for the looting and campaigns of the different players. Because when you send your caravan, you have the possibility to exchange for a lot of silver and make a lot of coin by selling resources, but it's exposed. Because you have one full round, because you send it and it's going to be resolved in the next round following, and then the players can launch campaigns against you, so they can steal hinterland cards or VP cards if you have them there, which are the capstone cards as they're called. They can steal resources from you, which are very valuable if you keep them for selling them, and then they damage your caravan, and it's going to give you less and less money. But also they don't destroy you again, they just loot a lot from you, and this gives a lot of player interaction. Also, for example, there are different factions that increase interaction with the players, like giving curses, and you need to roll higher or lower depending on the curse that they play. and the situation for each campaign, for each attack, for each defense, etc. So a lot of interesting interaction between the players. Last but not least, I would say, which summarizes actually the rest, a lot of PC game feeling, the good old strategy PC game feeling, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 3, that type of feeling, because it gives the feeling. It's not the game, so don't misread what I'm saying, please. It gives the feeling, because it gives the feeling of the building queue, it gives the feeling of the development, of the units that you have, etc. But also it does it with a fantastic gameplay, because you see, in all aspects of the gameplay of the round, you have the draw 3 build, to which you can build either upside down or the other way around, and then you have 2 options, and this gives you different icons, and when they come out of the queue they give you materials. For example, you can upgrade your agricultural province if you spend 3 fields, and you need to build 3 fields in order to be able to spend them, in order to upgrade and get more points, or to build up the military and add also fortifications so they can hold the invasions easier, etc. Very cool ideas. The stance is fantastic idea as well. It's like automatically the players simultaneously, it's the only play of the round which is simultaneously, or everything else can be, in turn order, everything else can be done simultaneously. Players simultaneously select a stance secretly, and then they reveal it, and they can assign it either for more production, if they chose a worker stance, for a defensive stance, in order to be able to defend if they think that they're going to be invasion and be conservative and defend, or for an offensive stance, which is the only stance that allows them to have campaigns and attack other players and gain, or looming threats, and gain rewards, etc. Exceptionally well done, fantastic gameplay, really enjoyed it. Quickly, just to mention a couple of minus things or cons, if you wish, but really trying hard to say here, because the majority of the things I really enjoyed, and it was a fantastic gaming experience. So I would say it tends to last a bit more. For me it's fine, but I can see that some people may find it lasting too long. For me it's fine, because you are fully engaged, fully into the game. It doesn't matter when it takes longer if you're having a great time. That's my motto, my philosophy, so it's all about that. But it is what it is. It takes a bit longer. Maybe if you play a lot of more sessions, maybe you'll become faster and drop down the playing time, but that's just needs to be said. The hinterlands and sideboard is a fantastic idea, and the looks and the visual presence of the cards is fantastic, and how they evolve to more developed, let's say, provinces. But just maybe a production thing. Maybe if they could click together those boards, you know, the hinterland board and the vertical board, like a puzzle or something, it would be great. They could be together. I didn't find myself pushing the boards too frequently, but it could happen. So just a minor thing, but it is what it is. And then the third and last thing is that for the first games, I think you need to listen to a lot of rules. Everything makes sense. Everything makes sense philosophy. And if you've played other similar games, you know what to expect, but you need to listen to a few rules, and you need to play a session before it becomes your own. Let's say you own it. You don't need a full session to get into the DNA of the game, just a couple of rounds, but still you need to hear a few rounds, so you cannot just get someone on the table, let me explain you something, because they need to hear quite a few rules before they start playing. But once they start, boy, they're going to enjoy it, because I had a blast playing the game. I loved every aspect of it, the fantasy theme, the symmetric aspect, the strategy, the options, the variability, the production, the looks, the table presence. This is a very well developed, tested game. It really deserves kudos for me, because it's obvious through every corner and under every stone, whether it's rulebook, whether it's a gameplay mechanic, whether it's a round session, etc., that the publisher has done a lot of work to build this game, balance it, and make it a fantastic gameplay and a unique experience. I highly recommend it if you're into strategic games of city building with tech trees and a player interaction and fantasy theme. You should definitely check it out. Even if you're not in any of those things particularly, you will be surprised, I think, by the cool things that this game has to offer. For me, it's an extremely pleasant surprise, because I have to admit, the first thing that drawn me to this game was the looks, the beautiful art, and then the prospect of developing the cards and making your kingdom become better as you build it up. But then while I was playing and getting more into it, more and more I enjoyed it. I found a lot of cool things and many aspects to really pick up from the many that it offers, and I highly recommend it for that. This is the Gilded Realms, and make sure to check it out during the crowdfunding campaign soon. I'm going to add the link in the description below so that you can find out more. It's launching anytime now. Many thanks for watching.